Welcome all of you to the video course on placement preparation under BSCP. BSCP, as you are aware, stands for Basic Skill Enhancement Program. That is a specialized program that runs along with the core subject that you study in your engineering course to help the students build and improve their skill set, which is both in terms of the soft skill theoretical part, how things are done, telling them the methods, giving them the inputs and insights for all, and also how they can apply it, that is the application part, in their workplace by giving them real time scenarios and situational examples so that they could learn and improvise. Also, it assists them through self assessment that is done on a regular basis. So I would like to start with firstly introducing myself. My name is Aisha and I am Assistant Professor at Department of Skill Development, BIT KITA. So let us first know what our course is. Whenever I begin with a course, I would like the students to know the 6 W's which are related to it. The W is like who is going to benefit from this course. So in this course, all the students who are in their final year and who are aiming to get a good job, a dream job in their company, will be benefited from this course. It will help them to give insight about the placement process, how the things are done over there, and it will also help them to identify their strengths, their weak areas where they can work so that they are a more confident individual and a better and successful professional. Then when and where? As you all are aware that due to the global pandemic that we are facing, this course will be purely an online course, but we will interact through various self-assessment activities that will be taken along with the course modules. Now the discussion of the content to be covered, that is the what part of the course, I will take this in detail in the further slides. Then comes the why. What is the purpose and importance of this course? Dear students, you must be aware that today the market is quite demanding when it comes to candidates with skill set. There are a number of students passing out every year from various engineering institutes, and all of them have a zeal to work. Many of them might be having good academic scores. They might also have done few certifications, and they are applying to every vacancy that they find is suitable and as per their need. So, how to make yourself stand among those, how to shine in the crowd, how to get yourself highlighted so that the employer wants to know you more and the employer gives you a chance to present yourself in the further rounds of selection so that you get placed in a good company is very much important and a task that requires sincere efforts. Now you are studying this engineering course over a period of 4 years and you have already studied a number of subjects that have given you subject knowledge, build up your concepts, and you might have also thought about what sort of job you want to land into. But this course will help you to bridge the gap between your existing skill set in terms of the soft skill like communication, like body language, like your CV formatting, etc. So that you are more organized and planned when you actually apply to the jobs and when you are ready to enter into the market as a competent applicant. Now, how will this learning be provided and analyzed? So definitely this question might be in your mind now that how am I going to analyze to see whether I have learned something or not. So this will be done over first is the identification, that is you have to do how and where, in what areas do you find yourself weak, and then we will see to it by the planning and implementation that you will do through this course, where you will develop yourself as the course progresses, so that by the end of the course, when we track performance through the assessments, through the regular activities, then you will be able to recognize which areas you have actually improved and where you need to work a little more. Now, moving forward, let us come to the what portion, that is the contents to be covered in this course. First, the module that we will cover is Introduction to Soft Skill, then a comparative look with the hard skill, the scope and benefits of the soft skills, the common types that we see, and the integral parts of soft skill. That is comes, what are the constituents in soft skill. Then we will cover module 2, that is cover letter, resume and CV writing. Cover letter is your first introduction or the first opportunity where the employer comes in contact with you over the write-up that you forward through this letter. And with this, your CV or your resume is attached, and it acts as the front cover to your CV or resume. So, how to create an impressive cover letter, the different CV writing formats, how to write your CV, that is the curriculum by me. Then what are the parts in a CV? Also, I would like to mention that CV and resume are two different things. So here you will get more clarification on what should be a part in your CV, what you should include in your resume. And nowadays, my dear students, companies are shortlisting the students or the candidates on the basis of their CVs. But this is not done by a reading that was earlier done by the HR, who used to read your CVs and then pick out those good ones and call them for interview. But this is now done by an automated system where there is a bot, and the bot searches for keywords in your CV that match the job profile that they have. And if you have the skill set which matches the job profile, then there are higher chances of your CV being shortlisted. So in this we will see how you can use those keywords, how to identify the keywords and how to frame those keywords so as to customize your CV as per the job requirement. Also next we have the video resume. So in the video resume, the nowadays traveling for every particular interview, each and every interview to a distant place is time taking for the candidate also, and calling candidates every time for a profile 10 number 20 30 in these numbers is again a problem for the company also, because they have to pause their regular work, take out time for interviewing them, and then go with the further rounds. So they have started calling candidates after screening them through their video resumes. So in the video resume, you have the all the matter that you have put in your resume in the form of a video where the candidate is telling himself or herself. The employer can view that video, which is generally of a timing of like 2.5 or 3 minutes, and with those videos that they get an idea, okay, how the candidate is appearing, the confidence level, their knowledge, and how well they can communicate their skill set. Also, the one-page CV, as I already told, that the employers don't have time to read 2-3 page long CVs, so they ask you at many times to send one page CV that highlights your key features, key qualities, or skill set that is job relevant, that is purely relevant to that particular vacancy or job. So, how to write these, how to frame your content, and how to effectively present. What are the mistakes you should avoid while constructing these, we will cover under this module. Next, we have module 3, that is the art of group discussion. So group discussion, I hope you all are aware that it is a discussion between members of a group and is a topic based discussion. But what are the various types of discussion that we have in GD? What are the roles involved in a GD? How you can be an effective member and play your role in the GD, the do's and don'ts in the GD, the categories and topics frequently used by companies. See, nowadays you can download easily the placement papers and see, and also I will provide you with the topics that are most favored by companies when they call for the candidates in GD. So they have some particular sectors, particular issues that we will try to cover. Also, the tips to prepare for the GD. Next, we have interview preparation. Under this, we'll see what is the concept of an interview, what is the purpose that the employer is looking in the candidate to call him or her for the interview, then the various types of interviews that we see. There are multiple types of interviews. We'll have a look at them. Also, the three common formats that are followed in the interview, like face to face interview, telephonic interview, and Skype interview. So, the face to face interview is when, in a formal setting, we have both the employer sitting at one end and the employee at the other, and the interviewer will ask you questions and interviewee will answer the questions. Both of them can see each other, and also you will be judged by your body language, posture, gesture, facial expressions, everything. Then the second type is the telephonic interview, where both the interviewer and interviewee are not present on the same place, but they connect over a call and they are not able to see each other. So you will be asked questions, but while you answer them, you are not able to see the person on the other end. At that time, your voice quality, your answering to those questions, the approach you take while answering, and the confidence that you reflect from your voice comes into play. Next, we have the third category, that is Skype interview. So again, in the Skype interview, the interviewer and interview, they are not at the same place, but here the difference is they can see each other. Over the video, they can observe each other, and the interviewer can easily note down the body language or the facial expression of the applicant at the time of interview. Now, what are the do's and don'ts in an interview? What are the things or blunders that you should avoid while attempting an interview? We'll cover all these and the specific areas in your interview. So, coming to you, the technical students, you have interview of usually two broad categories, that is the HR round and the technical round. So, the technical round where questions are purely based on your technical expertise, your knowledge, on your command on the core subjects that you have learned over all these years. But coming to the HR interviews, the HR interview is majorly focused on your personality assessment. They aim to know what sort of a person you are, what are your ambitions, what are your plans, how dedicated or sincere you are, how do you manage or handle stress at work, and how will you behave if you get into situations which are a little complex at work. So, by asking questions which help them to understand what sort of a person by attitude, by personality, by your opinion and thought process, they try to judge if you are an individual who can fit into the work culture the organization has currently. Then we have frequently asked questions in the discussion. So we'll cover the questions which are mostly asked by an HR in the interview. Also the technical questions that might be included in your technical round. Then we'll see to the tips for the preparation. What are the few smart ways and things that you must take care while you are appearing for the interview. Next, we have the module 4, which is email writing and presentation practice. So, coming to email writing basically has a particular where you are not only told how to write a proper email, but also there will be ways in which, according to the subject that you have for your email, the language of the body of the email that you are writing will be changed. So, in this, we'll cover how an email is written, and also we'll see to it that how the email language has to be framed and what you have to take care. Suppose you are applying for a job vacancy, so what are the words that you have to use, what are the words you should not use, and how you should frame the content, how you should write the cover letter in the email format. All this we'll take care and practice as we progress. Then we have the do's and the don'ts in the interview and the presentation etiquettes. So, dear students, you might be attending presentation and also giving presentation as you have been in your third year coming from the internships. There you would have given presentation on different topics that were assigned to you, the work that you did, and also when you're working on your final year project, then you will be having presentations to give to the faculty member, to the guide in your college. So you are having a basic idea of how a presentation is done. But what are the ways in which you can improvise your presentation, and what are the ways in which you can be better in your presentation delivery is what we will cover in the presentation practice. Then we have the module 5, that is the personality assessment test. So under the personality assessment test, we have the concept, the purpose. So what are personality assessment tests? See, these are the tests which are now most commonly held by companies because they not only want to know how you are through your technical assessment or through your HR assessment, but they also want to know how you will behave in terms of your personality, in terms of your interpersonal relationships, in terms of your being absorbed or being in contact with the people in the organization, whether you will be able to adapt yourself to the work culture of the organization or not, whether you are here to grow and stay along with the organization or you are more of an ambitious person that would not be staying in the company for a long while. So all this is assessed through the personality assessment test, which could be done by a case based assessment or a thematic perception test. So we will have a look at these and also how you could ace the test through a smart approach to it. How your answers or your choices could be made in the options that you get so that a positive image or positive reflection of your personality is created in the test and you could be easily clearing the personality assessment. Then we have module 6, that is the comprehension practice. So under the comprehension practice we will have reading comprehension solving. It is when companies give you a comprehension where you have to read out the case and give suggestions and measures to solve the problem. Also there are writing but assessments like you are given to write a passage or paragraph on topic like describe yourself in 250 words. So there you will have to write about yourself. In that matter what you're writing, the judgment will be on the basis of what you have written in that is related to the work and what is there in you which might be helpful for the organization as an employee, how you will be delivering your skill set over there. So you have to focus on highlighting your strengths or your achievements or your skill sets through examples and or through demonstrations in the way that you have been a keen learner on these issues. Then also your approach to the problem solving is judged, as I told, on the basis of the reading comprehension or on the basis of the case that is given to you. So these are few of the modules that we'll cover under the soft skill preparation for placement. Apart from these, we'll also see to what skill set you will require at the time when you enter the workplace, and we'll have a glimpse of those also. So now let us move forward to what are soft skills. Moving to the definition of soft skill, here you can see these are personal attributes that enhance an individual's interactions, job performance, and career prospects. Now, see to the term personal attributes. So, by attributes, we mean qualities in a person or in an individual. So, the qualities or the skills in an individual which enhance or improve the individual interaction, that is one person to the other, interpersonal communication will be increased. Then job performance, that is how you utilize these skills in your job in terms of your efficiency, how you are performing, your performance will be improved. And career prospects, career prospect in terms of the job options that you have, your present profile, and what profile you want to achieve. This will also be improved by the use of these soft skills. So, what is our focus here is majorly on the career prospects and the career benefits that soft skill provide you, because placement could be achieved through the efficient use of the soft skill to enhance your career prospects. Next, we have the definition of hard skills also, because there are two categories of skills when we talk in a broad manner. The hard skills are the one that you are able to perform a certain type of task or activity after learning. So suppose I tell you how to operate a video game, and I tell you the instructions, how you will install the game, how you can run the game, how you can play, how you can watch your scores. And once you see that how the things are done, you start yourself by playing the game, and then you are able to participate as a regular gamer, and you eventually develop competency and high level performance on it. So that is a hard skill. But when it comes to soft skill, these are those skills which you are not only told by means of instruction or a code or a specific methodology that is to be followed, but this you can also learn through observation, and this you cannot quantify. Soft skills are non-quantifiable. It is often said that hard skills will get you an interview, but you need soft skills to get and keep the job. See, once your CV is sent to a firm, is in front of the employer, so he or she will only see to your grades, your achievements, certification that you have mentioned on the paper. Also, if there is a technical test that you have, that is the placement first round, you will have an aptitude test. So that aptitude test you can clear by your hard skills if you are good at numerical ability and reasoning ability and verbal ability, etc. But after that, next what you will face is the interview, is the GD, and the further rounds of placement. So there your soft skills will come into play, and to secure that job and also to help you in performing well at your work, you need to improve your soft skills. Then we have a comparative look. Here you can see hard skill versus soft skill. So hard skill are teachable abilities or skill sets that are easy to quantify. So you can easily rate them. Example, the typing speed. If a person has a typing speed of suppose 30 words per minute, and the other individual person B has a typing speed of 50 words per minute, then you can easily comment that person B has a better typing speed than person A. So this is your hard skill evaluation. Similarly, a degree or a certificate, if there is a person securing 50% marks and there is a person securing 75% marks, then we can make the comparison that the person A is second division holder and the person B is a distinction holder. Similarly, we have for machine operation, computer programming also. But when coming to soft skills are also known as the people skills. Why they are known as people skills? Because these skills will help you to communicate better among people. And man is a social animal. So these are the skills that will help you to deal with people. Also, you can say that these are the skills which will help you live a better and successful life. Now, these skills are also known as interpersonal skills as they deal from one person to other person in terms of communication, cooperation, preference, leadership, teamwork, etc. And you have the examples also like flexibility, leadership, teamwork, time management, etc. Now let us see soft skills are people skills. They complement the hard skill to enhance the individual relationship. So hard skill will tell you how to do a work, but soft skill will tell you how easily you can do that work or the best method to do that work. All the supportive features that you need to complete the task are given by the soft skills. The soft skill can also be defined as life skills, which are behaviors used appropriately in the management of personal affairs. See, in soft skills, if you are good at them, you will be able to communicate better. So, if you are able to communicate better, you will have two benefits. First, you will be better understood by people. Second, you will be less misunderstood by people. So, when you are better understood by people, people will like you more, people will cooperate with you more, and you will be getting benefit while asking them to help you. So, you will get your work done in a more cooperative manner. Second is when your soft skill are not good, communication skill is weak, then you will be misunderstood. So firstly, you have to make yourself understand. This will again require a lot of effort if you are not good at your soft skill. How will you do that? Also, people will not cooperate you. They will not like you. They will not want to be associated with you. So you will have a tough time in asking them to help or in getting their cooperation for your work. Thus, it will help in terms of management of your personal affairs, in terms of avoiding conflicts, grievances, etc. If you are good at soft skills. Then they are a set of human skill acquired via teaching or direct experience that are used to handle problems and questions commonly encountered in daily human life. So this can be learned. Now how you can learn these soft skills? Through teaching by a trainer. Like I'm giving you some examples so you can relate yourself to those examples. Or you can also see that in your daily life, what are the problems you are facing? Where are the issues which are making you unhappy? You can pen down them on a piece of paper and then you can try to find out through reflective thinking where is the fault. Is the person who is on the other end at fault, or are you also at times involved, or a reason or the root cause for these problems? And thus, by this reflective thinking and asking the questions, you can also find out where you lack in your soft skill and improve them. Then we have they represent the psychosocial skills that determine value behavior and include reflective skills such as problem solving and critical thinking. Here you can see the word psychosocial skills. By psycho we mean related to the mind and social is dealing with people. So soft skills are the skill by which you can deal with people through understanding their mindset. What do they have as a perception of you? If you can understand their mindset, what is going through their mind, and then you deal with them, then definitely you have an upper hand while interacting with them. Soft skill will give you that power that you will be knowing what is their mindset towards the thought that you have given if you are good at it. Then it will also help you to have reflective skills, and thus you can solve your problems, and also you can see how a certain situation can be avoided, how you can come out of a certain situation by correcting your mistakes, such as self-awareness and to interpersonal skills. Now, in soft skills, before you start arranging or organizing or correcting stuff, planning and implementing, it is very important that you go for awareness of yourself. Now, how one can get self-aware? This you can do by doing a SWOT analysis. You can take out some time in your free time, just on a piece of paper, and do the SWOT. SWOT where it stands for the strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. So, what are the positive that you feel about yourself? Where do you find yourself lacking, your weaknesses or your fears that you have? Also, the opportunities you think that there are the areas where you can do good. These are the ways, these are the methods that you find easy to perform, and also the threats, the problems that you see in your life, and the areas where you're not able to do good. This you can do by constructing this SWOT of yourself. And once you have made this SWOT analysis, then you can identify what are the weak areas which you can work so as to include them in your strengths. So I would like you to take out some time and do this SWOT analysis of yourself so that you get self-aware and you can start identifying the problem areas in order to improvise yourself. That's all in this video. Thank you.